Look very difficult for Nigerians at the moment, Senator.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that our people are facing this kind of crisis.
Yeah. But if you look at it also, it's all over the world mostly. The issue, the economic hardship is global for so many reasons, especially when it comes to issue of food. The war between Ukraine and Russia, and also the crisis in the Middle East, all is affecting our own economy. The world is global. That is part of it. And also you can see in Nigeria too, we have this difficulty. But I want to say here that the problem is not that of the president alone. The president is the head of the government. People should come forward to suggest the way forward or out of this problem, not just concentrating on critics.
Well, there are those who disagree with you, Senator, when you say that it's not a Nigerian problem, it's a global problem. There are those who will say, who will blame this government that things have become so bad. Would you say it's a global problem, the FX, the dollar to the naira? Do you know what dollar has sold to the naira today at the parallel market? There are those who will say that some of the policies that are being criticized by this government, policies of this government have been criticized, that there are wrong policies that have been made that have led us to this. In 8 months, nearly everything in terms of indices have gone in the negative and double numbers.
Well, let me take it one after the other. First of all, when this government came on board, before then, the major issue is the amount of money the government was spending on what the so-called fuel subsidy. And even the opponents, or that is to say opposition, were of the view, including maybe yourself, that the fuel subsidy should go. But of course it comes with consequences. I can accept the fact that the backlash of that decision was not well thought out and the reaction. But the good thing I can say here without fear of any contradiction is that the president is reactive. When things happen like that, immediately he sent supplementary budget to the National Assembly, which 500 billion was allocated for palliatives. But as we said, it's just like a drop in the sea. After that, he tried to reorganize the social investment program and also pumped money into it. But then it's not still working. After that, the president recently came out to order for the release of, I think, 102,000 metric tons from the strategic grain reserve. All this is with the view to addressing the issue of food shortage. And that's why I came out with this motion that is coming up tomorrow, that in addition to what the government is doing, should quickly look at the introduction of food stamp as an interventionist measure to cushion the effect where people are giving food.
Senator, we'll go to that just in a bit. And I'd like to take you up on what you also said about the president being reactive. There are those who will say, look, this economy is too sensitive for you to be reactive. You have to be proactive. There are those who have likened the decision of this government as to removing your clothes in anticipation of buying a new clothes when the clothes is not even in sight. The decision and policies of this government were said to be knee-jerk. Yes, good intentions, but not properly thought out and planned. And you are part of this government. And this has been described as a failure.
No, I don't think so, because we did what the people wanted.
But not what properly thought out.
Wait now, we are looking for remove the oil subsidy, remove the oil subsidy. The president reacted by removing the oil subsidy. Of course, it will come with consequences. What I want to hear now is that if you implement or you react in such a way and it's not working, you bring forward suggestion as to what you think will work, and then if it is workable, the government will definitely implement that, and so that we'll get out of it. But definitely, that taking that decision to remove oil subsidy was welcomed by all Nigerians. And of course, it comes with consequences. But then if you say that we have not managed the consequence very well, that is another thing.
So the question is, take for example, let me describe to you, Senator, the implication of what your government is doing, the APC. And perhaps there are those who are probably disappointed, who thought that the APC government under President Tinubu had everything, had all the data, had everything thought out, and things are really escalating badly. People are hungry, Senator. In your constituency, I don't know how much of the disturbance you are getting about those who cannot afford school fees, those who cannot pay their bills, those who cannot feed. This is what the implication could be directly. You know the budget you passed in 2024 is now worthless, you know, right?
No, you can't say.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you, Senator, the indices on those budgets are now being messed up. The production, the FX, everything, because now let's assume that the dollar was about 1,000 naira when you passed the budget. It is now almost double today. If you plan to buy that iPad in front of you in that budget, in January, you'll be buying with a double amount. That means that whatever we have budgeted in this budget for 2024, we need double of the amount to be able to execute the budget. That is one of the implications. No. Aside the fact that people are hungry, Senator.
No, I don't think so. I don't agree with you. You are right to some extent, but don't also forget that this budget is a dollarized budget, so to say, especially in terms of the income. And when it comes to in terms of expenditure, it's in naira. So if we are getting our money in dollars and the value of dollar is up, that means that we'll have more naira in terms of what we spend. So we are not spending dollars, we are spending naira, but we are getting our revenue.
What's the quantum of the dollar we're expecting, Senator?
I don't know, but our oil production has gone up. We are almost all dependent. It went up to slightly above 1 million to 1.7.
The question is the percentage of revenue from oil.
Let's discuss this idea, this issue that you raised. True, the value of naira against dollar has fallen to, I think, 1,700. But we are selling our major product that we generate income in dollars. And that means any dollar we get now will also be valued at 1.8 or thereabout. So in fact, if you do the analysis critically, it may mean if you balance it up, we may have more money to fund our budget. The problem that we have actually is in the foreign exchange rate, which is true. And unfortunately, you are right, that Nigeria is dependent on foreign exchange for almost all the luxury items. But our production of food, the greater percentage of it is produced locally. The major problem now is that the price of products, of food or basics that I'm concerned about has escalated, making it very difficult for low-income people to be able to buy. But it's not that there is scarcity of food. No, the price has gone up, whether artificial, whatever, that is no excuse. And that is why I'm saying that there should be a way where you make the purchasing power of the low-income people especially enhanced so that they can buy. Now you are paying somebody, for example, a salary that cannot buy him a bag of rice. And he needs that bag of rice to survive in a month. And his income cannot do that. The government should now look at, and that is what we are looking at, and the president is so disposed to it, to see how the poor person or the less privileged can afford to.
Senator, are you saying that we actually have food enough?
Yes. If we don't have food enough, you can see the number of trailers that our security agencies intercepted in our border. The problem that we have, as I said, is this foreign exchange. Now our people are trying to get our products across the border, especially the Francophone countries, where they are safer against our naira has gone up.
Because some of your colleagues on the floor of the Senate are saying that our silos are empty.
Well, I don't know about
that. Our storage are empty. The president has ordered over 100,000 metric tons of food items.
Yes.
But there are those who say, in real terms, those food are not there. The silos are empty.
I really don't. I don't speak speculatively.
No, I'm saying what your colleagues are saying.
No, I'm not the colleague that said that. As far as I'm concerned, the president ordered that 102 tons of metric tons of food should be released from the strategic grain reserve. Let me even assume that what you are saying is true, which I don't believe. But in Nigeria today, if you have the money, tomorrow you can get across the country, tomorrow, or even tonight, you can get over 102 metric tons if you have the money to pay for it. And that's what the government is saying, that they want to get out 102 metric tons of food so that it will make the price of food go down, or at least the lower income Nigerians will be able to have food on their table.
Let's talk about this food stamp that you're suggesting.
Better.
It's new to us.
No, it's not new to you.
No. I mean,
you have lived in America, didn't you?
Yes.
You don't know about food stamp?
No, I'm saying new to our system here in Nigeria.
I'm asking you now. You don't know.
Has it operated here in Nigeria, Senator?
But do you know about
I know about food stamp.
Then why are you saying you don't know?
It's new to us. It's new to our system.
To you?
It's new because you don't operate. If you don't operate,
anyway,
that I know it doesn't mean that it's commonplace.
Anyway, if you don't know food stamp is a kind of program that was introduced in the United States in 1939, when they had similar challenges. Crisis. So food stamp is a coupon that is issued to low income or no income citizens of America.
In exchange for food.
In exchange for food. And it has been working. Recently they changed it to the name to SNAP. They call it Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. And it's working very effectively. So if a country like America can use food stamp, then I don't see any reason why Nigeria at this critical time should not do that. Because if the government decides now, within 1 or 2 months, with the minimal, because the president tried this social investment program by this cash transfer and all that, but the high level of corruption tainted it. So it's better now to give somebody food stamp, especially low income or no income, that they can go to retailers or those that sell food stamp, and instead of using money, they use that food stamp, and the government redeems that amount by you taking the coupon to the bank, and your account will be credited. That is the sellers.
What is the modality? Because I look at you were saying that when the federal government makes an order, is an interventionist concept to cushion the effect of this, and in that motion, you're also describing how the Ministry of Agric and all of that.
Agric and food security.
So how do you determine, because data is a problem, how do you determine who gets what?
Data will not be a problem that much because we have a structure. We have the federal government, we have the state government, we have the local government. And fortunately, this issue of agriculture or food security is on the concurrent list. That means everybody will be involved. If you open your doors in various states, the Ministry of Agric, asking people to come and register, they can come with their ID card, they can come with any form of identification, and they can come with clarification from even their ward level. That is to say, in our structure, in every ward, for example, you have a ward councillor, or you have the local government, you have the local government chairman asking people to come and register. And the beauty of that kind of idea is that with our own culture, you find out that it is only people that are in need that will come out to register their name, and they can be verified. And then they give them...
How often would people be able to access?
On a monthly basis. That detailed modalities can be done by experts. They are experts. And in fact, coincidentally, in Nigeria, they tried this in Lagos. There's this Lagos food initiative. And they call it temporary food or something. They did it. And that was a private initiative. And it went a long way because it touched the life of about more than 1 million people. In Lagos, I think in 2020, they were registered in 2015.
There are a lot of private initiatives that have opened banks.
And that even reminds me. The World Food Program is very active in Nigeria. They do that. In my own local government, especially in Borno State and the Bay State we call Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe, where we are affected by this Boko Haram. The World Bank, the World Food Program help. And also, in my state, the state governor introduced an initiative where from time to time, after the buying food, we go to local government Check the local government. We take one local government from this zone, one local government from this zone, and they take the food and issue token to women or head of or families, and then provide them food that can take them.
So the fear would be how politicians will not politicize and take advantage of these for their own personal interests, just so they are supporters. So you find some party supporters who are getting it and the others are looking on. How do we ensure that this does not happen?
Well, that is, Sheun, let me be honest with you. This is one of the major problems in this country. I ask you, before we go on, is this idea of food stamp good or not? Just give me that answer.
I may not be able to judge. I've seen it work. Where people who cannot afford. I've seen it work.
You have seen it work.
I've seen it work.
So it's a good idea.
I think so.
Okay, what are the modalities you're asking me again? Because I just said this idea of food stamp is something that the federal government should look at seriously and come up with a way. Because for me, I prefer the use of food stamp than this conditional cash transfer they are making. Because you give somebody money, instead of him to go and buy food, he will go and buy certain things. But the good thing about food program is they are specified food items that you can use that coupon for. That means the money or the coupon will go for your basics. Gari, rice, yam, or something like that. But if you give somebody cash, you will not be there to supervise what he does with the cash. So that food stamp is a way to go. And the way or the modalities is something that you have experts, especially non-governmental agencies are there to advise government how to go about it. And I think that is the best way to go.
Now, that means that, you are proposing this, you're moving this motion. Hopefully your colleagues will pass it.
Yeah, from what I've seen yesterday and today, we would have taken it today. But because of time, and we had some other things, so it's coming up tomorrow. I have the support of most of the people. And the beauty of it is my idea. It's not, I have my say now. Then it's left for, my colleagues to either support or not to support it.
Would you need the concurrence from the House?
No. It's a motion.
It's a motion. So when it's passed, it's passed as a form of advisory to the federal government.
Yes.
So it's now left to the federal government
whether to take that advice
or not.
Or whether to come up with a better way of addressing it. Because I believe that the president is so concerned about this. No, everybody must be concerned about the situation where you have pockets of people going the street, demonstrating, where my main concern, I saw 2 incidents. Maybe you saw it, it went viral. A truck carrying rice had an accident. In those days, people will now be busy trying to help the driver or to retrieve the goods. But what happened is that people were, scrambling and taking away the food instead of it. And another incident happened when a petrol tanker, I think somewhere again, had accident. And people were dying right there because it was accident between 2 vehicles. But people were concentrating on scooping the petroleum product than attending to those people that are in need.
Manijo, which I hinted about it, but I don't know if you have thought about it, but if not, Senator, I think it's something that we really need to look into. We don't have the much data to be able to drive this kind of
That is the problem. I don't agree.
Remember the mess, just for a moment, remember the mess created by the humanitarian ministry. And what metrics would you use to give out these food stamps? In your thinking,
My thinking is that in every state, government should deploy its staff to announce that food stamps will be issued to qualified or people in need. When you come before the official, you set your name, your local government, you prove that you are a household. That is how you build the data. And at the beginning, as people come, they queue up, and then you build the data right on it. But you see, the repeat is that we don't have the data. Let's assume that we even have the data, but it's not authentic. If you are giving out food stamp here in this studio, you announce in your TV that tomorrow we are issuing food stamp. People will come and queue up, or you take a number, and then you register. That you build over time. It's not something that will happen to all Nigerians.
Because the question is, people need urgent and immediate needs. So getting the data, getting those registration might be, but
when you announce that total amount of
food items are available.
Not food item, food
stamp.
Food stamp are available, and people that are in need can come to social office, register, and collect the food stamp. Then you go to the market and use it to get food. When people queue up for that is how you build the data. But when you make the mistake, as we did previously, to say, oh, a consultant will go and build the data, that is how they steal the money.
I saw the manner in which some of you and your colleagues were going back and forth on some of the errors in relation to Ways and Means, Anchor Borrowers Program. It's disastrous, isn't it? Yeah. How Nigerians now think that leaders have led this country wrong. For many, they led this country astray for so many years. This is sad, isn't it? Yeah. You feel bad about it, that you are part of that system. Because you were on the floor of the Senate when this Ways and Means issue came up, when the Anchor Borrowers Program, all of these issues. I don't want
to go into that. What you asked me to come and discuss about is food stamp. But if not, these Ways and Means, let me just give you a bit of it. When it came up, I was shocked. And there were no details. But it came with another 817 billion, I think, request, which had details. So that day we insisted that they must provide detail, which was never provided. But to my surprise, it was passed. But the decision was that of the Senate. And I'm a senator. So I can't come here and say, I disown you. No, I'm part of it.
We need to hold you by the Babariga because you are part of the process.
Okay, you can do that. But God knows, I said it yesterday, when the issue came up, I said I was not there. But that is not an excuse. The Senate took a decision. I can only have my say. But the Senate had its way.
Senator, we need to close now. Okay. We don't have a choice. We are stuck with your party who is in power, that is in power. And we are praying that the president...
we are stuck.
No, we are stuck because
let me tell you,
we are in this mess today, Senator.
Let me tell you.
Your party preached that you're going to make this country better. And we are praying that this nation will get better, that President Tinubu will succeed. We don't have a choice. We must succeed. But the question is it disappointing, isn't it? That things have turned this way.
No. Just within 8 months, PDP spent 16 years and he planted all these...
And so you want to also spend 16 years to destroy?
No, not destroy. We are trying to fix what they did. But let me say, on a serious note, you can see in Mr. President that he is highly committed. At this his age, he did not take this government in order to come and put people into difficulties. It's very frustrating, I can see on his face. You understand? But what the Nigerians need to do is to assist the president, not by just criticizing like the opposition did. Let us come out, like now, I am in APC. I'm not running away from taking the responsibility. We come with ideas. Mr. President, try food stamp. Somebody said this. And there are development. These challenges, as I said, is not only in Nigeria. But how to manage the problem and get out of it is the thing.
Senator SEN NDUME, thank you so much indeed. And thanks for your frankness. When you have failed, you take it that you have failed.
Who failed?
As a party, you.
No.
And as a leader in government.
We have not failed. When you give me power for just how many years?
You spent 8 years as a PC.
No, that was the past one. Now it's President Tinubu. It's only 8 months.
Only?
Yeah.
People could have died. A lot of people could have died. A lot of things would have gone wrong. But that's another conversation for another day.
8 months.
We need to
8 months. I want to remind you.
20% of 4 years.
PDP spent 16 years and they destroyed this country.
What about the 8 years of the APC under Buhari?
They are struggling to understand the problem.
How many years backwards?
No, not...